Hello again, everybody. Zach Attack is here with my WWE Raw review for this Monday night, June the 2nd, 2014, from Indianapolis, Indiana. From the Banker's Life house, the home of the Pacers. A lot of Pacers jokes. But of course, there was the Payback Aftermath. And as you would see on the title, the subtitle, we saw two groups who faced off at Payback kind of semi-implode. We saw a big turn when it comes to the Shield. But we began one, a very intriguing Raw coming out of Payback, plus some news involving Money in the Bank. But we would, like I said, while we have a big turn in the Shield, we start off Raw with some Evolution happenings. It looked like Evolution seemed to be done in the beginning of Raw. As Evolution, of course, with 3 members remaining at the time, as Triple H would come out with Batista and Randy Orton to talk about the match last night against the Shield and losing the match last night. Of course, Triple H wanted to finish off the Shield and trying to book a rematch for tonight. But Batista wants a title match. Of course, now that Daniel Bryan's situation, Batista wanted a rematch or wanted a match for the championship. But we all kind of knew one thing. That Batista, as we all know, has been rumored to leave the WWE after Payback. We thought he was going to be gone after Extreme Rules, but we knew he was going to stay past Payback as he had a movie to promote that's coming out this August. Of course, Batista signs galore. So the way they win out Batista and make him leave WWE for a while because of his little movie is they made Batista quit again. Of course, if you don't know, the last time Batista left the WWE, he quit following his I Quit match involving him and John Cena at Over the Limit 2010. So Batista's a 2-time quitter when it comes to his character being a 2-time quitter. Because storyline-wise, he was sick of the broken promises that was given to him about getting a title match and getting a big push from Triple H and the Authority. But he's got nothing of it, being stuck in a feud that seemed to never end against the Shield. He hated being lumped into this situation. He didn't want to be in a situation involving Evolution reunion against the Shield. He wanted to care more about himself instead of a team. So he walked out and quit the WWE yet again. We thought Evolution was done with 2 guys left. Of course, we would see Orton in the main event tonight against Roman Reigns. That match was set. But as we would see at the end of the night, a big swerve, as you see by the subtitle, a big swerve went down. But before we get to that big moment of the night, let's get down to the card itself, the main matches of Raw before that main event. Kicking off with the tag team affair involving the United States Champion Sheamus teaming up with RVD against their Payback opponents, Cesaro and Bad News Barrett, the Intercontinental Champion. Now, I love both these guys, Cesaro and Bad News Barrett, as singles. But if they would have put their minds to it, I think they would work as a tag team. And they worked pretty well for most of the matchup. They looked pretty good. Isolating RVD and their corner, really looking like a cohesive tag team. I would have loved to have seen these guys be a tag team. Because they're good on the mic. They gotta get rid of Heyman. Because Heyman needs to shut up about Brock Lesnar. You don't need to push or promote Brock Lesnar. You need to promote Cesaro. Not shove Brock Lesnar, beat the streak down our throats. Don't shove that down our throats. Promote Cesaro. Fuck Lesnar. Anyway, even though it looked at one point that Cesaro and Ray Barrett were going to get the advantage, and like I said, they looked very good in this match. Very fun matchup. I love both these matches last night. The singles matches that Payback were good. Sheamus and Cesaro and also RVD and Barrett were probably some of the best matches of the night. Besides the 2 main matches, Cena and Wyatt, and of course Evolution and Shield. And seeing all 4 of these guys in this match was a pretty good matchup, especially seeing Cesaro and Bad News Barrett team up for a while and really being a cohesive tag team until Cesaro got back in the ring against Sheamus after Sheamus got the hot tag from the isolation of Rob Van Dam. And Cesaro got more than he bargained for. And as he took a whipping from Sheamus, and Sheamus was setting up for the Bro Kick at one point, Sheamus was going for, but Cesaro got pulled down by Heyman, saving himself from further damage, and he basically left Barrett high and dry. When Barrett hung to dry, he ran into, basically, with no partner, walked into a brogue kick, set up for a 5-star frog splash from RVD, pinning the Intercontinental Championship, getting his own payback after losing to Ray Barrett at Payback for the Intercontinental Championship. So, there you go. I would love to see these guys like a fatal 4-way for both. Like, you know what they should do? At WrestleMania 16, they had like what, a best 2 out of 3 falls match, triple threat match, involving Jericho, Kurt Angle, and Chris Benoit. The first fall is for the Intercontinental Championship, second fall for the European Championship. I think they should have that type of match again, but this time making a fatal 4-way match, best 2 out of 3 falls, with the first fall for the IC, second fall for US. That would be an interesting match with all 4 of these guys for both titles. You know, like they did in WrestleMania. But they may be an MITB, might be in the match. Of course, we would get news on the main event match in a little while. But then, last week, if you missed my Raw review last week, I'm trying my best to keep my rant button at a low. Because once again, Cesaro got squashed again. Last week it was fucking Davey Crockett, like I said. See my review last week to see me really go up, but Sandow getting buried again. I just hope it doesn't happen to Bray Wyatt. Because we saw, after losing to Cena, Damien Sandow's career, as have seen, has never been the same since he lost to Cena. I just hope this doesn't end up the same way for Bray Wyatt after he lost to Cena last night. And we saw Damien Sandow go from a future world champion to a guy who might be future endeavored. Especially after getting punched out again by Big Show by dressing up like Lance Stevenson of the Indiana Pacers, who became a viral superstar by blowing into LeBron James's ear. The first of many Pacer jokes after losing to the Miami Heat. In the Wrestling Eastern Conference Final, I don't care, I don't watch basketball, I watch football, wrestling, and UFC. MMA, Bellator included. Even though they are the TNA of MMA. Anyway, we saw Damien Sandow once again looking like a fucking joke. He got KO by Big Show. Because we saw Big Show knock out Damien Sandow a few weeks ago. Now he got knocked out again by Big Show. Stupid segment once again. Making Sandow look like a fucking joke. Seriously. They need to stop burying his ass. They need to give him a big push. I hope Sandow qualifies for the Money in the Bank match. And fucking wins it again. And if he does win the Money in the Bank match again, he fucking cashes in successfully. If there's a briefcase on the line. I'll get to that in a few moments. Before we get to the news involving the MITB match, Money in the Bank match, we got our next matchup involving Bo Dallas. Like I said, hey, he is the actual brother of Bray Wyatt. He finally wrestled Kofi Kingston. We saw these two were going to wrestle at Payback last night, but Kane interrupted for no contest. We would see Kane in the match in just a little bit. So we did not see Kane interfere again. I've always been a big fan of Kofi Kingston ever since he debuted, but he needs a new gimmick. Speaking of getting buried, he needs to get buried because he's got the same gimmick. He needs to turn heel. But if they won't turn John Cena heel, why would they turn Kofi Kingston heel? Of course, he took on Bo Dallas in his second match. It did look pretty good. In his matchup, of course, delivering the running Bulldog after great offense by Kofi Kingston. Decent little matchup between these guys. I would love to see these guys really wrestle at the pay-per-view last night, Payback, instead of having it be on War Night because of Kane's interruption. But still, it's a fun matchup with Bo Dallas getting victory with that running Bulldog. Then it was Bo time. It was time to believe. These characters kind of like, I'm starting to go through it, but it's kind of weird. He needs more development. But still, trying to be a motivational guy. Some people love him, some people hate him. That's the thing. Like John Cena, who would interrupt, this is a nice segue, who would interrupt Stephanie McMahon. Because Stephanie came out to talk about the status, once again, the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, with D-Bry sacrificing his wife's career with his wife pulling the "You can't fire me, I quit" routine. A lot of people quitting storyline-wise. Batista quit, and then we had Brie Bella quitting last night, and bitch slapping her out of Stephanie. And I didn't notice it until later on that Stephanie apparently peed her pants. McMahon316 says, "I just pissed my pants indeed." Stephanie now pissed her pants like her dad did. And brother, too. Anyway, Stephanie came out saying, "Well, D-Bry, since you wanted to sacrifice your title last night, I have no other choice." Now, like I said, we got news involving Money in the Bank. Now, there's two rumors flying around. That either D-Bry would wrestle Kane in a buried alive match at Money in the Bank, or the Money in the Bank ladder match, instead of it being for the briefcase, they would climb the ladder for the championship. One of those two scenarios may happen. Well, not the buried alive match. I think the news leaked about the possible buried alive match got negative reception. So instead, it goes like this. If D-Bry is medically cleared to wrestle at Money in the Bank, there will be a WWE World Heavyweight Championship match involving Daniel Bryan and Kane in a stretcher match, not buried alive. But if D-Bry still isn't medically cleared, we still don't know how long he's out for, then, like I said, the rumored Money in the Bank match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship will happen. That instead of a briefcase on the line, the ladder would be used to climb to retrieve the WWE World Heavyweight Championship that will be vacated if D-Bry won't be able to defend. Of course, we would see our first Money in the Bank qualifier a little bit later on in the evening. But instead, we would talk about this situation. Here comes the man who's faster than Rey Mysterio, more powerful than a Big Show, able to make Damien Sandow turn into a complete joke in a single bound, and hopefully won't do the same to Bray Wyatt's career. Dun 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 dun! Super Cena. I've been holding off on calling him Super Cena lately, but after seeing him beat Wyatt last night, and praying to God he doesn't end up like Sandow, I'm calling him Super Cena again. Until I see better. But we would see his Wyatt family members in action a little bit later on. That could say that Wyatt could still be regaining momentum despite this little speed bump with Cena and Bray Wyatt. So Cena came out, interrupted Stephanie. And there was some kiddie jokes about her breast implants. That was kind of funny. For being cheesy, corny Cena jokes, that was kind of funny. As we were talking about this whole D-Bry situation. And D-Bry, I feel D-Bry's praying because I had to sacrifice the championship once because of injury. One of my very first videos on this YouTube channel was me making a sideshow, making my own little parody of We Are the Champions by writing a little parody song, Cena is Not the Champion. That was my very first video on here before I showed my pretty face on these attack lines and the wall reviews and pay-per-view reviews. So anyway, I know D-Bry's pain. But when I came back from my championship injuries and forfeited the title, I was given opportunity. If D-Bry forfeits, you would not give an opportunity because you let personal feelings affect business. And I think Stephanie's been delivering some epic quotes lately. As she was setting up a match against Cena against Kane. Basically, if you talk bad about the Authority, they set Kane on you. We saw that to Kofi last night after talking bad about the Authority and putting his 2 cents about this D-Bry situation. D-Bry got, his friend Cena got sick by Kane. And Stephanie made a quote about, "Don't quit like CM Punk quit." That was probably a good quote last night. But I also like Stephanie's quotes tonight. That payback's a bitch, but so am I. Because that was kind of a good quote. So we would see John Cena against Kane, renewing their little rivalry from 2 years ago. Kane was the first guy to try to make Cena embrace the hate. But if he can't, so can Bray Wyatt. Anyway, we are on to our match between Cena and Kane. It's kind of a silly match. It's kind of a screwy match. It was like a makeshift match. Cena, doing his typical little moves, five knuckle shuffle and all that stuff. But Kane would just get physical because the devil's favorite demon would just pound on Cena, pound him in the corner, and wouldn't break up after the count of 5. So referee called it, disqualifying Kane. But the beatdown after the match happened as Cena got beat down by Kane. But then, of course, Cena, being Super Cena, got back up and did the same thing he did to Bray Wyatt. No He didn't bury Kane like he buried Bray. No. He threw the steel steps at Kane's face like he did to Bray Wyatt. Probably one of my favorite spots last night of Payback in that last man standing match. Like I said, if you missed my Payback review, I applaud Cena. You know, I make fun of his character a lot, but I will give him credit for the match against Bray Wyatt. Despite Bray Wyatt losing, and hopefully won't get buried like Sandow, I did like the match against him and Wyatt. Probably the best match of the rivalry. Probably the most exciting match because the match of the Mania and match of Extreme Rules didn't live up to the hype of the feud, but the last night's match really lived up to the hype, and it was an intense matchup. And probably, like I said, the best match of the feud. Now on to our next. This should be a segment involving the Job Squad. I mean 3MB, Heath Slater and Drew McIntyre teaming up against Los Matadores. Of course, we would see Baldy. I mean, Hornswoggle come out with a ridiculous wig. It was kind of a comedy match. You know, like 3MB had some offense going, and then I should have guessed they're gonna fucking whip off Hornswoggle's head, but I cannot believe they left some hair in. They didn't completely shave his head. They need to completely shave the head off. You saw some hair in the back. It's kind of like a bullet. Instead of a mullet, a bullet. Business in the baldy in the front, pony in the back. And you saw some hair sticking out. And that held those Matadors win. Some silly comedy match. And this feud needs to end. I thought it ended last night. This is the feud that doesn't end. It will go on and on, my friend. So there you go. We saw a baldy Hornswoggle. Speaking of things that are short, on to our Divas match of the night. Nikki Bella fighting a handicap match against Alicia Fox and Oksana. Of course, with Brie Bella critting the WWE, sacrificing herself to let her husband D-Boy not have to sacrifice the WWE whatever championship. Nikki got kind of punished by being put in a handicap match. Really short, kind of a squash. Like I said, this match was the shortest Hornswoggle. You know what I mean? So, there you go. Alicia Fox got the victory. Of course, the crazy girl, Alicia Fox, was excited she got the win. Too bad she couldn't get the win over Paige. She kind of beat down Nikki after the match. I thought Paige was going to come out and save Nikki. Or even volunteer to tag with Nikki to continue her feud with Alicia. But we didn't see that. Just little diva squash match. Now on to our next matchup. We have Jack Swagger taking on Adam Rose. Now Adam Rose, of course, if you all know in his debut, you didn't see my one review last week, beat Damien Sandow. In the continuing burying of Damien Sandow, like I've been mentioning all over this video. And somebody else got buried tonight. I'll get to him in a moment. Ziggler. Anyway, Adam Rose I saw him in NXT take over last week. It was an okay matchup, but he actually, like his character, okay, kind of a happy-go-lucky, you know, be a Will's bud. You know, the crowd's starting to like him. He's starting to get over. I think the fans are starting to like him. I thought this gimmick can only get him so far, but I'm starting to warm up to the Exotic Express. He actually looked pretty good tonight. You know, he's a decent athlete. He had the little choo-choo thing, and his finishing move is kind of cool. He had an okay match with Swagger. You know, I know they had a match on SmackDown, but I didn't see it. I don't watch SmackDown. Like I said, he needs to work. Like his wrestling's going to get him far. His character won't get him far. But if he continues to wrestle good like he did against Swagger, his wrestling skills are going to outshine his character. He needs better character. Like I said, his character can only take him so far. But his ability will take him far. As soon as he gets rid of the Exotic Express gimmick, he could really go forward his wrestling ability. Speaking of wrestling ability, on to our next matchup. I've been talking about, you know, Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family's lack of ability. I've been kind of demoting them just being just guys who just walk around and pound people. But I think they're good athletes now. I think they really show, especially Luke Harper. Speaking of Luke Harper, as we saw tonight, as Luke Harper and Rowan were prepared for their tag match against the Usos without their leader Bray, I think Bray Wyatt, as we saw tonight, I think we can see now that Bray Wyatt's not the only one in the Wyatt family who can book a good promo. Luke Harper delivered a good promo tonight against the Usos. I thought he had a great job at the promo. You know, I think Luke Harper's like the breakout star in the Wyatts. I think he's looked really good in the last couple of weeks. He's a decent athlete. He looked good yet again tonight as he would team up with Harper against Usos. It was kind of weird to see him bring out the rocking chair without Bray there. Bray will be on SmackDown. So we'll see how Bray recovers from being beaten by Cena, and hopefully it's only a speed bump and not a burial. Keep saying that tonight. I'm sorry. At least I'm not ranting like I did last week. Not ranting as much. Anyway, this is actually a pretty good tag match, actually, for both these guys. I guess I've been questioning, of course, the ability of the Wyatts, but Wyatts looked really good. We've seen these two teams develop. I thought they were going to have a tag team title match at Payback, but I think that tag team title match may take place at the next pay-per-view. And it was a good matchup. We had some really good back-and-forth action between both these guys, with, of course, one of the Usos bandaged up after getting suplexed through a table last night when they got involved in the Cena Wyatt match. I think it was Jimmy got suplexed by Warren. No, Harper. Suplexed off the top rope through a table outside the ring. 2 tables outside the ring. That was a cool spot as well. And it was a very interesting match. Second hour was kind of weird, but then the third hour kicked off with this great matchup. Like, a good tag team work, great fast-paced action for both teams, great near falls, great action, great high-flying spots with Usos flying, and so was Harper flying. I love Harper's flying move. And Harper's finisher, too. And we also saw Warren get involved, too, because we saw Blackjack. It was a fun matchup. And I've been seeing this feud. I think Harper and Warren are a good tag team, especially they did get the pin on the tag team champions. With, like I said, Harper and Warren got the blind tag from Harper, and Warren came in with a big finishing move, a big sidewalk slam. He blocked a Superfly splash, and he blocked a big kick as well. And then, of course, the big pin and the win for Harper and Warren, pinning the tag team champions, and maybe cashing in, pun the pun, on their tag team title match to be at Money in the Bank. I thought it was going to be a Payback, but we saw these two involved in Cena Bray Wyatt's match, and I really think that indeed we shall see Harper and Warren take on the Wyatts, the Usos. And it could, this match at least proves to me, even though I've been saying this on video that Cena burying Bray Wyatt's momentum and making him look like Sandow, I think Wyatt still have momentum. They got the win on the Usos tonight and may get a tag team title match. So I think the Wyatt's character is still going to be popular. It's still going to be momentous, despite I think the Cena loss is going to be no more than a speed bump instead of a stop sign for the Wyatt's momentum. Speaking of cashing in and burying, on to our first Money in the Bank qualifying match, involving 2 former winners who successfully cashed in, unlike Sandow, Alberto Del Rio and Dolph Ziggler. I hate the fact Ziggler lost. I wanted Ziggler to win. I've been saying this. If you've been watching my reviews, I've been bitching about how Ziggler and Sandow have both been getting buried and getting demoted by WWE. And Ziggler looked very good tonight. We won Ziggler chance at the pay-per-view Payback last night after the whole CM Punk thing. He retired. Get over it. Heard another CM Punk chant tonight. He retired. Baby, poor Michael Jordan. Mentioned that last night in my Payback review for those who missed it. It's on this channel. Anyway, Ziggler looked very good in his matchup. He nailed the Famouser. He even did like a half-assed version of the Famouser off the top rope. I think he kind of botched it, but still had some good impact. But despite that, Ziggler looking very good. I thought Ziggler was going to win this thing. Del Rio, I thought it was going to set up for the Enziguri. I was like, no. But then Ziggler dunked the Enziguri. But he couldn't dunk the cross-arm breaker and the tap out, as Del Rio is in the Money in the Bank match. I hope Ziggler gets another shot to be in it. I don't want Ziggler to be fucked out of the Money in the Bank match. I want him to be in it. I know he's won it before, but we've seen multiple guys win it more than once. As CM Punk, the only guy to win Money in the Bank match 2 times in a row. So, I'd love to see Ziggler in it. I'll love to get another chance. But once again, we saw Ziggler buried again as well as Sandow. 2 guys who need pushes bad. I hope both these guys try to find a way in the Money in the Bank match. And if Sandow wins again, he'll be the first guy since Punk to win it 2 years in a row. And hopefully this time, he'll cash in successfully. And finally, we gain momentum. Instead of being a punching bag and a joke. Anyway, Sandow wins aside. On to our next matchup. We saw the Cody Rhodes Goldust relationship finally break down, as Cody Rhodes once again lost in his match against Rod Baxel, and he quit being Goldust's partner. Instead, he let Goldust find himself a new partner tonight and try to get back momentum and have Goldust win without him, holding him back. Sit and call it. But the old saying goes, the more things change, the more they stay the same. New partner, same result for Goldust. Goldust and Sin Cara, they're okay gel, but they're not the Rhodes Brothers tag team. You know, if they want to stay as a tag team, they need to work on gelling with each other. You know, but this is what happens when you mash two individuals together on the short notice against a tag team who has begun to gel, being right back. So I think they really gelled. I've been saying that. I even said that last night in my Payback review. You know, I think these two guys have finally found the groove. I think they really found the momentum. I think these two guys could go for a tag team title shot probably after the Wyatts get their tag team title shot. It looked very good until Sin Cara got the hot tag from Goldust, and he looked very well. Of course, Sin Cara looked well, but it was going for a big splash move, but they got caught. And of course, got the victory stolen from him, or ran away from him, really, as of course, Ryback still got the victory following a Hangman's facebuster move from Axel. It was an okay match. You know, it kind of continued the deterioration of Goldust and Cody Rhodes, with Cody Rhodes leaving Goldust basically to fend for himself with a new partner. And like I said, new partner, same result. You know, losing again. You know, we'll see how this ends up with Cody Rhodes. I think Goldust will continue to lose, and then like Cody Rhodes is gonna probably admit that it's not me, it's you, and he'll turn heel that way. Maybe that's what's gonna happen. Maybe that's the direction they're gonna do. Have Cody Rhodes see his brother have new partners and see Goldust lose without him, and then Cody may realize it's not him. It's not Cody, it's Goldust losing, not him. That's what I think they're going with. So, there you go. Now, on to probably the stupidest segment of the night. The Russian Federation presentation to Rusev. I thought Big E was going to interfere, but he never did. And I can't believe they mentioned Snowden, the WikiLeaks guy. These guys, the crowd was okay tonight, but especially doing Snowden, that killed it. You know, sorry about that fly flying in. That Snowden reference kind of killed it. You know, it's kind of a stupid, pointless segment. It was as pointless as a Divas match. Almost. But anyways, I really thought Big E was going to get involved, but this match was just stupid. Stupid. Not match, but the segment being stupid. Now, on to our scheduled main event. Roman Reigns against Randy Orton. I was looking at the clock and I'm like, wait a minute. It's 11:01. And the main event's now. I knew there would be something screwy. I was like, there's going to be something going on. Someone's going to interfere. I did not think what was going to happen would happen. As we would see the Shield in the ring, celebrating the victory, and their seemingly demolishing of Evolution, seeing Batista quit tonight. We saw Triple H and Randy Orton come out, and Triple H grabbed the sledgehammer with them, and then Rollins came with steel chairs, looking like he was going to hit Triple H with it. But then as Triple H was standing from the ramp with sledgehammer in hand, he's like, plan A last night didn't work. But there's always a plan B. And then, bang! Seth Rollins with the steel chair rammed Roman Reigns with it. Apparently, we saw Evolution disintegrate, probably. But I think more likely, the Shield is disintegrating with Seth Rollins, like I said in the subtitle, turning on the Shield tonight. And possibly replacing Batista in Evolution. I'll comment on that in a minute. So as we would see, Rollins just nailed Reigns and Ambrose with a steel chair. Now, I've been saying this for months. I've been seeing seeds planted for the Shield breaking up. And I've been saying that. I even said it last night. Once again, plugging my Payback review. Sorry, I've been doing that. Cheap plug. Hey, I'm doing what the WWE does all the time. Plug something and shove it down your throat. They promote the WWE Network down your throat. So I'm plugging my reviews down your throat, like WWE does, for their product. You know, like I said, shameless plugging. You know, somebody's got to do it. It's a dirty job, but we all have to do it. We all have to do shameless plugging. You know, I've been sensing that. I said it last night in my review of Payback. Once these guys break up, they can all be solo stars, specifically Reigns and Rollins. I thought Reigns was a breakout star, but I've been thinking Rollins has been that way since Elimination Chamber. And especially Rollins is the first guy to break out of the Shield by turning on him tonight, nailing him with steel chairs, leaving Triple H and Randy Orton to pick up the scraps. When Randy Orton delivered the RKO to Reigns, as we would see, probably the new Evolution, standing tall. Now, I thought with Batista leaving, I thought it would be the end of the Shield Evolution feud. But I think it's only the beginning. It's intriguing now. I think they're keeping it going. With Rollins now apparently turning on the Shield and joining Evolution. This could be very interesting with Rollins now in Evolution. This could work out. If they don't fuck this up, this could be a great opportunity for Rollins to be part of Evolution. Be very intriguing to see how this ends up. And then the other question is, who would replace Rollins in the Shield? Or will Ambrose and Reigns turn on each other? We'll see how this goes. But this has gotten way more interesting now. You know, I thought like Evolution was going to disintegrate. Like I said, with Batista leaving. Now I think Evolution's stronger than ever because apparently they say Batista's gone. Bye-bye, Batista. Hello, Seth Rollins. Very intriguing scenario with Rollins now. Apparently part of Evolution. Very intriguing. Like I said, we see how this ends up. So there you go. War Ready to Bake begins. Batista quits again. And like I said, Seth Rollins turns on the Shield and apparently joins Evolution. That is it. My WWE Raw review for tonight. Thank you all very much for watching. With that in mind, y'all been attacked by the review from Zach. Thank you all again for coming to watch my video. Have a great rest of your Monday night and rest of your week. See ya. Yes, yeah.